Our guest today, he is an adventurer. He does stuff for real, man. And he comes from one of the most sophisticated and craziest military units in the world. You can say that, can you?
True, you can definitely say this is only for real men.
Yeah, like I know from back in the days, I lived close to the French border. Like we knew some people, and the Foreign Legion in France, there's some tough guys.
Some badass motherfuckers.
Tough. I have some questions for you also about that. I know we want to talk about your business and some other stuff, but I have to ask you some stuff. Welcome, Robin Klein.
Thanks, Patrick, for having me. So I'm very glad to be here.
Glad
definitely
to
have some good stories to talk about. So if the people are interested, then I'm very pleased to tell more about the French Foreign Legion.
I don't care if the people want to know, but I want to know. I don't care.
Yeah, cool.
But I'm sure some people want to know as well. Let's just give a brief introduction where you come from and like what is your background before you got into the adventurous stuff, and then I have some questions.
Yes, definitely. So I'm a guy like most of other men. So I come from nothing. Yeah, I had a very supportive family. I grew up like in a very healthy environment, but I felt like nothing. Okay, I didn't have any resources. I was not really good looking. I was not, let's say, very strong or like very masculine. So I was seeking for masculinity all over my life. So, and this is how I fought my way up to where I am right now. I have spent many years building my character, building my mindset. I have been many years in the French Foreign Legion just to let's say, to grow as a man, because I knew that there are the toughest guys. It's only for men. They do the craziest shit, and they are tested and challenged every single day. And this is the place where I wanted to be, where I felt like I was supposed to be there. And now, there's one thing missing. Later, in the past couple of years, I founded several companies in renewable energies and very successful. But I spent too much time in the office, too much time behind my desk, just thinking of ideas or about systems or about processes, and this really didn't make me happy at all. Okay, there was something missing. I was not in the battles where I was supposed to be. So my battles were like daily schedules, daily meetings, daily Excel sheets, okay? And this is not, there was nothing that would ever make me happy. So what I'm doing now is adventure travels for real men, only for men, definitely only for men, because men act different among other men. So I have done many adventures over the past 20 years, for sure. Most of the time, also on my own, but now I'm at a point where I say like, good company is definitely welcomed. So, but you don't want to have a party crasher on board, okay? You don't want a weak man or somebody who's complaining all the time. No whimpers, okay? So, yeah, it's like this. So, because I'm personally looking for mental and physical challenge. This is what it's about. But it's not only about like, let's do something extreme. No, it's about the company and the value they add to the, let's say, to the fellowship. And we go where most of other people would never go, because we go really deep into the wild, man, the wilderness. And it's remote, it's exclusive, it's isolated. Sometimes we go hunting, we jump into ice-cold rivers or mountain lakes, well, we sleep outside, or maybe we have like traditional tents, and we are accompanied, of course, by local guides, for example, or professional hunters, no worries. But the things we do in the wild, it's so primal and it's so about being a man. Like, let's say, like how you regain your masculinity on the different level. Because nowadays it's very easy. Everybody says like, oh, you want to be a man, you have to listen to my podcast, you have to do my workshop, and I show you how you talk to women, I show you how to be a man. No, you have to go in the gym, you have to have muscles like this, okay? And in my opinion, this is not what it's about, okay? If you go really, really back in time where you didn't have all this comfort, where you really were on your own and you had to survive. And the only way to survive was working on your skills, overcome your fears. You go out, you do whatever it takes, and you were challenged by not only your environment, but also by, for example, your competitors, which were other men. So in some kind of way, you had to prove yourself that you are the guy worthy all the resources, the guy who can really provide. And then you get the status, you get the women, you get the, let's say, the pride, the fame, and everything which comes along. And this you find when you challenge yourself out there in the wild, where it's only you against you. And
it has a lot to do with self-development as well.
Yes,
like you really have to self-develop this hunger, and this will to survive and be there and be better than you were yesterday.
Yes. So for most men, it will be something that you haven't done before. So we go to places where most of others wouldn't go alone. And it's really about discovering yourself, what you are really capable of, what defines you as a man. And you have time because you step away from all the daily noise, okay? All the distractions like your smartphone, your messages, or you step outside the building, then so much traffic and noise, okay? You cut the noise, you're out there in the wild, and you have time to rethink yourself, who you are and who you really want to be. This is what it's about. And this you find among other men, good company, where you have great conversations. And even if this means you sit together with 4 or 5 other guys and everybody is staring at the campfire and nobody is saying a word, and it's still a great moment.
That sounds nice. That sounds really nice. But we actually started from the back, but khalas, we just stay where we are right now. What is the craziest trip, the craziest travel that you ever done? Like with all this adventurous stuff. And maybe tell some stories. Like what was the craziest? What was the most dangerous? You ever had some wimps with you that you had to send home? Like people who gave up?
Okay, I tell you a story, okay? It's now 15 years ago, I think. 15 years ago, so it was not an organized adventure, but I was in Jordan. And I crossed the border through Palestine, West Bank, and I met 2 other guys, one from Sweden, one from Australia. And we planned to take a bus to the Dead Sea. And we were waiting for the bus. No bus showed up. And this was early in the morning. It was still dark. And then there was a taxi showing up. And we thought, like, hey, okay, come on. We take this taxi to the Dead Sea. It was like 90 kilometers, so very far. And in the middle of the desert, the taxi driver stopped. He had like a beard, like 3-day beard, you know, and it was like very, I wouldn't say fat, but if you think of a gangster, he was definitely the one. Okay, he didn't look legit, not at all. So he stopped in the middle of nowhere, and he said, "Okay, if you want to go further, you have to pay me more money." Okay, and the other guys, they were like, "Oh no, what are we doing now? You have no water. There's desert everywhere," and so. But I was a little bit pissed, and I just told him only what he wants to hear, and I said like, "Okay, bring us where we go, and then you get the money." So he took us to a place at the Dead Sea, and there was nobody else than us, but a small kiosk. And there was one person in there. So he confronted us again. I said, like, give me more money. And I said, no, you don't get any money from us. Only what we have negotiated.
Upon,
yeah,
yes.
Because I'm fair. And then he started like to insulting us. He came very close, and he touched me. And my reaction was like, okay, I beat him like left, right. I kicked him. My pants ripped, So he grabbed me. My shirt ripped, and it was very, very aggressive. So, but at one point I had him like he gave up, and I was cool, because I just came from Japan, I had my training, everything, and the other guys were terrified because he started, the taxi driver, started calling. And I said like, hey, no, we are here at the Dead Sea. I want to go enter the Dead Sea. I want to swim. And they were looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy, man? How can he be so relaxed? So I came back from swimming, and the girl in the kiosk already called the cops, the highway patrol, but they were like 70 kilometers far away, so it took a while. And she said like, man, those guys are dangerous. You don't fuck with them. And I said, let her talk. I don't care. And the guy, he didn't leave. So he was there already like 30, 45 minutes and always on the phone. And the Australian guy was thinking like, oh, who is he calling? And then the police arrived. He told us to show our passports. And then they said, okay, we have to escort you out here. You have to bring you wherever you want to go, but you cannot stay here. I said, why? Because those motherfuckers, they're really dangerous, man. They belong to Hamas, and they will kidnap you. They will not leave you like alive or before they get their money. And then I was looking over my shoulder, and there was David from Australia, and the other guy, the name I forgot, he was gone. I was like, where is he? The taxi driver was still there, he was on the phone. So, but the other guy, so it was not that he was
taken by him.
He just disappeared, man. I don't know what happened to him. I cannot tell. So, but this was the only story in terms of if ever somebody quitted. So he somehow disappeared. And the end of the story is they escorted us back to a place where we want to go, and always separated, and we shook each other's hands. I said, like, okay, maybe one day we see each other again. And 3 or 4 weeks later, I was in Turkey, in Istanbul. I was standing on the big. Like in the middle of the city center, and I had a map, like a paper map, and I tried to orientate myself, and I was looking down and up, and then he was there. I was like, "Hey, David, where you are coming from?" Funny story. This is sometimes how the universe works, huh?
That's crazy. That's really crazy. But like giving up on like a hike or something or in the jungle that people got scared. Not like that.
No. So, now, of course, maybe somebody gets scared, but if you're a Hmong man, you wouldn't tell. So what I've learned in the Legion is everybody knows that it's tough and that it's tiring, that you are exhausted and that you are hungry and you don't want to do some stuff and maybe you want the rest, maybe your feet are hurting or you have a headache, whatever. But it makes no difference to complain. And this mentality is so anchored in my personality. So in religion was easy Because if somebody complained, if somebody was wimping, bam, okay, you stopped it straight away. Yeah. You shut the fuck up. So especially if there are some superiors who tell you what to do. In like civil life, you cannot do this. But the point is that if somebody starts complaining, like there's a saying, one bad apple ruins the batch.
Ruins the whole basket, yeah.
Yeah, or ruins the basket, yeah, exactly. And ruins the basket. And this is the same for any kind of complaining, the negative energy that you spread. And as I said, everybody is suffering. It does not doesn't make sense to start complaining and then the other one complains too. Yeah, I feel the same. So it doesn't change anything. So you try to stay positive, to focus on the mission. You keep on going. And at one point, so you just place one foot for another and in front of another, and then you keep on going.
Do you think that the Foreign Legion and that mindset helped you with on your business side to open
definitely,
business?
Definitely. So from my point of view, the French Foreign Legion definitely helped me to grow as a man, to develop an indestructible mindset. A guy who, whatever happens to me in my life, it's only a test. I keep moving forward. I will not get stopped by anything. So, yeah, life hits me hard, as any other people too, but I will never, ever give up. I keep on moving forward. And you have the Code of Honor, for example, in the French Foreign Legion, the 6th Code of Honor, the 6th article is the mission is sacred. You will execute the mission until the end, and you will never ever give up. And if necessary, you fulfill or you accomplish the mission by it's in French, so I try to translate. If this means like you have to fulfill or accomplish the mission by giving your life, so this is the way to go. Yeah. So simple way to translate is you never give up. You never give up. You fulfill the mission. And this definitely helped me to develop as a man and my character. And
that's what I was going to say, because a lot of people, and including myself, like I didn't give up, but like a lot of people face so many obstacles, and sometimes the obstacles seem to be like you cannot go across it. Like this will be the end of this mission. But as you say, like you have to punch through the wall sometimes.
Do you know what's a good thing? It's only in your head.
Of course.
It's only in your head. So nothing can ever stop you if you are not willing to give up. So life will test each one of us in different circumstances, different ways, in different terms. And you cannot avoid this. This is life. Life is not supposed to be easy. But if you master yourself by simply developing, training, discipline, resilience, and willpower, you learn how to deal with all the suffering and pain, with all the setbacks, how to overcome the daily odds, how to overcome your personal circumstances. And this is what life is about. It's not getting easier, but it's you can train how to deal all with this.
Of course. I just saw a nice quote from, I forgot his name, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, yeah. Kiyosaki.
Yes.
Robert Kiyosaki.
I just saw a quote from him. What did he say again? Like a company or a business doesn't fail if it doesn't have any money, or like if it runs out of opportunities. A business only fails if the owner runs out of motivation. Like that's exactly the same thing.
And it's so hard to motivate yourself. So discipline helps you to keep on moving forward even if you have no motivation. Resilience helps you if you have those setbacks and you have pain and you have suffering to deal with all these, and you keep on moving forward. And willpower is the mind that is determined to execute until the end.
Yeah. That's what I thought. That helped you really a lot in your business journey.
Yes. So I think, sorry, Patrick, I need to say this. From my point of view, I had so high expectations who I wanted to be as a man, even by joining the French Foreign Legion, that at some point I saw like, it must be even more difficult. It must be more hard. I have to be challenged even harder. So I saw many people deserting. I saw many people also complaining. So, but we made them shut the fuck up. So I learned how to deal with suffering and pain, even in the days or in the years before the French Foreign Legion, when I was in the dojo training martial arts. So we were torturing each other on a daily basis. Okay, we hit each other hard, or not like only like boxing. So no, we took fucking bamboo. We hit us with a bamboo all over our body just to accept pain on a daily basis, so that you don't feel it anymore. So I had already this mindset to be a tough motherfucker. I tried to always to give my best. So because I came from nothing and because I didn't feel really as a man. So this kind of challenge was what I was seeking. And nobody else there in the Legion who wasn't the same. So everybody else who wasn't the same or like-minded like me, I felt like you're at the wrong place. If you're just here for money, so you're at the wrong place. Even people ask me during the recruitment process, why are you here? You can earn more money somewhere else. I said, for adventure. And they were looking like, who is this guy? So, but I thought like that all people go there, they are there for adventure, to do all the crazy ass shit that most people would never experience. Because what other people see in the movies, so I wanted to do that. Yeah. So, and because this defines what would define me as a man, was exactly this what I wanted to do to become the man that I wanted to be. Yeah.
Did you have any deployments while you were in the Foreign Legion?
Yeah, a couple. So I've been deployed to Middle East. Okay. I've been deployed to Africa a lot. So we were in different countries. So in Gabon and in Central African Republic, in Niger, in Mali, and Ivory Coast, for example. So yeah, we had some tough missions as well. Yeah. So and this, let's say, a great test for your skills as well. So yeah, it was not easy, but I think in terms of, look, the regular army, maybe most of them they are there maybe for the security, for the money. They don't want to get deployed. But in the Legion, it was always, we said like in French, tu as la chance. So you are lucky to be deployed. Everyone wanted to be deployed somewhere. So if you train for a long time, you get not deployed. But so in terms of my career, I was attached to the parachutist regiment based on Corsica, Calvi. And I got promoted to the third company, which is responsible for air, land, sea, and our company was deployed a lot. And so for me, it was a great chance to not only have formation, learn a lot, train a lot, but also being actually deployed somewhere. Because the other regiments, so we have certain other regiments in the French Foreign Legion, they were like cavalry and like pioneers and infantry and training regiments and administrative regiment. But the parachutists, they are the first. They are the first who are deployed somewhere. So we have this thing that's called Alert Gepard, which means like it's like a quick reaction force. And when we were, for example, based in Gabon, a couple of days, I think it was Christmas. It was Christmas in 2012. So we got our order to prepare for a mission in Central African Republic. They were these rebels, Seleka rebels were they called, and they were about to to infiltrate or to capture the city, Bangui, the capital of Central African Republic, and there were lots of French diplomats and civilians who had to be evacuated. So this was our mission to go there, and yeah, it's you cannot talk about everything, but I can tell. So it was always very interesting, very challenging as well from different points of view. And when our mission was finished, we turned to Gabon, where was a French base, and we prepared to leave, to return to France, and we already sent most of our stuff back to France. We put it like in a big container, and I don't know, we already cleaned like all the say the quartiers, so the rooms and everything. We had our stuff back, and we even slept outside one night on because everything was already clean. Yeah. We were only waited for the airplane, and then there came another order that there was a reconnaissance team of us in Mali. And they were alongside to Chad, people from Chad. Yeah. And they got into an assault. Many, I think 20 guys from the Chad died, and one of our guys, so he got shot in the head by a sniper. And the terrorists spread in the north of North Africa, and the French president by this time thought, okay, we gotta have to do something about it. So intelligence had already a lot of information about training centers for terrorists in Timbuktu, for example. But also they were using all the old smuggler routes, right, to bring their arms and different kind of weapons. So later we found out where they were really good equipped, and they got intelligence from somewhere. Somebody was supporting them. They even had like weapons from China, whatever. I don't know. I have no idea how they got all this stuff. But it was, the decision was made so quick. We didn't have our full equipment. We got deployed there and stayed there a couple months to fulfill the mission. And it was honestly search and destroy. So this was our mission. So civilians got evacuated before, and for us was clear, okay, everybody else who's left there is a terrorist. Yeah, so this was kind of tough mission. It really pushed ourselves to the limit because of the heat and carrying a lot of weight. So we were the first who got sent to the front. After us came the cavalry, so we were on our feet because we were small, fast, and we could move without getting detected very fast.
You also move in like small teams, right? Like the Navy SEALs and stuff like this.
Yes, not that small teams, but yeah, you could tell. So we were of course divided in sections and then in teams. But we got also very good support by aerial aerial support, like for drone pictures, satellite pictures, and we could order whatever we wanted to have. So like jets, helicopters. So it's crazy, man. When you walk, you see the destroyed vehicle, and you pick up like a 20 or 30 millimeter shell from. It's huge. You think like, oh my fucking god! If this thing would hit you, and they are precise, man. I talked to one of the pilots, the helicopter pilots. So the most experienced guy, he's a gunner. Yeah. He sits in the back, and they have those. By the time was like $250,000 helmets, perfectly shaped for your head, and it was attached to the gun, so they could look like from left to right. And then they told me from 2 kilometers distance, they hit a dime, man.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And they have two type of ammunition. So one is like tank, piercing, and the other one is explosive. But like the explosive did not work out really good, they told me, because when it hits the ground, the sand, it was exploding under the ground. Not very effective. But we had other options as well. And it was quite a success, the mission. Those information are official, so I can tell about it. So there were around about 160, 170 terrorists have been killed. We captured one or two. I was part of a team who later integrated one of them. And it's like funny things that you find out later. So there was one guy from the DGSE, which is a French like intelligence. And he told me, they already had information about this guy. So he was from France. So he only survived because he said, like, when everybody was saying, hey, I'm from France, everyone was like, looking, why? What is this guy doing here? Later he told us stories like he went there to Timbuktu to sell socks. Crazy. Yeah, but sometimes, like we said in the beginning, life is not supposed to be easy. And there's one thing I want to share with you. Now you can talk about this like a heroic mission, but on the other hand, we knew, for example, we later got this information, they are hostages. They have been captured years ago. Nobody was knowing where they exactly are, but we knew that they are in this region, and it's during the day it's very hot, and so people or the terrorists were hiding in little caves, for example, and we didn't find them. But thinking of the idea that you as a European citizen are captured by terrorists and held for years. Nobody's helping. Nobody knows if they are still alive. But maybe we knew they are maybe somewhere around this area. So, and then I always thought about, man, if my duty is to start working when other people would give up, this gave me some kind of pride, some kind of power, also the willpower to continue, because many people out there after so long time, they lose hope, man. I thought, like, I want to give hope to them. So there was one guy, we captured him, so after, let's say, all the bad guys were dead, and he was 14 years old. He was a fucking shepherd. He was taken from his home. So it's not. This happens a lot in Africa. So that the militia or terrorists or whoever, they take children. They take children and they put them on drugs, and they give them guns, and they train them, and they let them do horrible things. And man, they are facing tough times. So, and fortunately, we could return him to his home. But those are, when I think about this touches my heart. So because,
of course,
in my opinion, was not only doing like crazy shit and being a man, and also I had this idea of really helping people, because by the time with ISIS and the guys who have been there in this region, they were like attached to ISIS, for example, they were doing really horrible things. Most of people forgot, but even nowadays, so in Africa, there happens very, very crazy shit, and
Africa
people
is a crazy
need
continent.
Yeah, they need help. They need support. And when even if I'm very small, and if I like in terms of the universe, I'm nothing. But if I can change someone's lives by really helping him, getting out of this shit, getting out of this situation, because I've seen and I've heard of really, really, really gruesome stuff, man. And no kid ever should experience this. So, and it's our duty, especially as people from the West who have more resources, to help people. Of course, in political terms, it's very difficult to figure out, okay, where to go, what is right, what is wrong. I totally understand. I get the point, and I'm not saying that guns is the final answer to everything. No, not at all. But helping, especially in those countries where they cannot help each other by just do it on their own. So this we have to do something about. So this was my idea, and it's formed me as a man. It's formed me as a legionnaire. It's formed me as, the adventurer I'm not today.
Was that also the decision that you went to the Foreign Legion? Because you also could have went to, I don't know, the GSG 9 or something. Like, no, GSG 9 is police, isn't it?
Yes, this is special forces from police.
What's the special force of German military?
KSK.
Yeah, KSK.
Kommando Spezialkräfte.
Yeah. You also could have went there. I don't know. So
yeah, it's look.
No,
funny story. I was thinking about this, and after my service at the French Foreign Legion, I was still in the French Foreign Legion. Once I went to a recruitment office in Braunschweig, in Germany. So, and I tried to get some more information about the KSK because I thought like maybe it's a good idea to go there. And they told me, wow, you would be a great candidate and you would perfectly fit in there. But by the time my contract would finish, I would be 30, 31. I said like, okay, they only take people until 29. So it was... this is bureaucracy. I think nowadays they change it. But even if I think about my time, so about my past, I think in 2006, somewhere around, I already had a talk to a recruiter from the German. No, just the military, okay. And I did some tests, and I did not have the best qualification. Yeah. Because I cannot tell exactly what was the reason, but so with the after the evaluation, I wouldn't be able to go there. So later, in the Legion, once you are in, you give your best, you work in your best, and you have all the opportunities. So they are not that strict, like you are disabled here, or you have this allergic or whatever. Yeah. So not a problem. So you're a man. So you're tough.
Foreign Legion is more like you can get through it.
Yes.
You're in.
Yes.
And Germans, they look. Oh, you have teeth fillings here. Oh, you have a broken bone there.
Exactly.
Right?
So honestly, for me, it wasn't an option. So I thought about joining the KSK, but it was not possible for me.
Before you went to the Foreign Legion, because when just briefly over that, because you said you were training in a dojo. Mm-hmm. Like where, how, what? Like that was the prior step to the Foreign Legion, right?
Exactly. So I was the kind of guy who was always drawn to challenge, but also was fascinated by martial arts. I was loving. I love to watch Jackie Chan movies and Bruce Lee, and I was really fascinated by this, say, the hero story, the hero path, because in most movies like this, you come from nothing, you get tested. You fail, you really suck at one point, and then you find a master or a mentor who's teaching you, and the way how he teaches you is through suffering and pain, and you learn how to deal with all this, and then you evolve, you get better, and at one point you are the hero, let's say. So this is a classic hero path. I want to have exactly this. So in terms of this is what I was dreaming of. And when I was in in Dortmund, I was studying international management, and I decided for myself, okay, this is not the way that I want to go.
Okay.
And I was watching the Steven Seagal movie, and I was I thought like, man, it's so cool. What is he doing? And I researched, and I found out that he spent 10 years in Japan, living and training in a martial arts dojo.
Okay.
And then he returned to the States, first I think in security, and then later in movies. So I was like, what is he doing? Aikido, what's Aikido? And then I did some research, and then I fought a small club in a gymnasium close to us. I went there once, I went there twice, and they told me, okay, Aikido is different. There are different styles, different types. So what we are doing is Takemuso Aikido. Takemuso means the source, like this is where everything is coming from, okay? We do the real stuff. And they have seen that, man, you pick it up so quick, so fast, like you should learn more. You should get. You need to get to know the really important person. So next week we are there's like a seminar or something. It was the head of the federation, and I joined them, and I talked to them, and they told me, man, by this time, 20 years ago. So we have been in Japan. We trained there in the dojo where everything is born, where it's coming from. And next week there will be a master here visiting us in Germany to give like 2 or 3 days seminar. And you should represent to him. You should get to know him too. And he said like, wow, what a great opportunity. So I met him. He didn't speak a word English. And they tried to translate. So it was only like by, how you say, like in German, like by feet and head.
By sign language.
Yeah, by sign language, yeah. And then they translated and said, okay, you have this opportunity. You can come to Japan, train with them 2 weeks. You cannot only go there. Yeah. You have to be invited because you are an uchideshi. I was like, what's an uchideshi? Yeah. So uchideshi is like an intern student. You live there in this dojo. You train every day. You get up 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not for everyone. So you need to really want this. Yeah. And like I said, you cannot really do this. We have to...
kind of voucher for you, like give
exactly.
a guarantee.
So we have to give a guarantee, like a written guarantee that you are the guy, man.
That you are able to do it.
You treat the dojo and the rules with respect. You are not like somebody who's saying like, oh, I changed my mind, or I do like some crazy stuff, and I don't know, painting the walls or whatever. Okay, you have to have a good character. That's what it's about. So. A couple of weeks later, I was in Japan. I was in this dojo. I felt like, wow, this is crazy life here. This is crazy. But I felt so happy. I felt so alive.
Where was it in Japan?
In Iwama. Iwama is 90 kilometers north of Tokyo. Okay. It's a very small town. It's because after Second World War, all the martial arts and also like forging swords and everything what was related to martial arts, what could be a danger, was forbidden by the Americans, because they thought like, okay, in this kind of way they could not.
It can't be a rebellion or something.
Cannot become a danger. So, because of this, all the martial arts have been prohibited. The founder moved so far outside from Tokyo, where nobody else was, so remote, to continue with his teachings. And this is why he has chosen Iwama, a very nice place. I haven't been there for a long time now, but I can tell you that life was so different. It was out of a movie, and I have so great memories to this place. So, but in general, it's forged my mind, forged my discipline. It's like the same. You no matter who you are, how old you are, whatever you have done. Same in the Legion. You start from nothing. So, and you have to listen. You have to obey. You have to do what other people tell you. And nowadays, people are young and they think like, oh, they have such a big ego and they want to be accepted in society, and this is why they scream even louder. This has nothing to do with this. And the tradition, the ancient word, let's say, it's so different because tradition was lived. Tradition was taught, and tradition was passed on. And the only way how it works is if you are humble enough to accept all these tough circumstances. So you get up early, you have not a lot of food, you barely speak the language, somebody is yelling at you and you don't know what the fuck, why, okay? And then you have like a master. He was teaching Steven Seagal too, like in the past, like he was known for his brutality. And he took his one of his fingers like this, okay, and he hit me like on my forehead, you're like, bam. And of course, you don't say a word because what you think, like, what the fuck, okay? Or he's yelling at me, and because we were sitting in this, it's called Caesar, and you're on your knees, and like if you're not used to sit long, you're not stretched enough, okay? You feel pain everywhere, and you have to sit really quiet without moving, and you just hope that he stops speaking, because when he stops speaking, it means maybe, okay, now we can do some exercise, and you can relax your or detend your muscles. So I was moving a little bit, only a bit. So because I was on my knees and the hands were supposed to be on the knees, and we're like bending a little bit forwards, putting my hands on the ground. He saw it. I was in the first row, and he told me, "What are you doing?" So he was the only one who could really good speak English, and because he used to train the later in the I think in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, he used to train the Americans military. Oh, okay. So he knows this rough environment. So he's known to be tough. So then he came to me like bam, 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 looking at me, and he told me in perfect English, "Are you a fucking dog? Or are you human? Huh?" I was like, "What?" And then again, he hit me. Bam! Like, place your hands where they're supposed to be. And it's fucking a mental test, you know? So you don't say a word, you have pain, and it's like, imagine like you sit with your leg spread, for example, and you try to stretch. Everybody who's ever stretched, like, you know how this fucks up your mind. So you just want to have, you want to relax again, you know? Yeah, but this was the world where I was living in, and I became better and better, and I learned a lot, and I ranked up, and I, like, after 1 year I had my first black belt. After a second year I had the second black belt. So in between I was training every day. There? 2 years. 2 years
in Japan?
Yeah, 2 years in Japan. Yeah, and in between, like, we trained like 2-3 times a day. And between, we were, for example, cleaning. Cleaning is a very, very big thing there, because it's like you keeping your environment clean. It means like you keep your inner self, your mentality clean as well. And so we were, for example, then when we didn't clean, we were working on something, or we took our bikes, or even like one of my masters, they were different. But there was one master, Nemoto Sensei, was my real master, let's say, and we were very, very close. And I spent a lot of time with him, only training me and him. And for example, he said at one point, okay, you need to train more endurance. Okay, you need to go jogging. Okay, and then he took his bicycle and I was jogging. And then when there was a hill up, and it's like you have to push me, push me up this fucking hill. And then one day it's raining, and the other day there's like a storm, and I have like great memories as well because like it was so different. And when you feel an earthquake, for example, for the first time, like wow. The ground is shaking, or the house is shaking. And one day they were announcing, okay, there's a big fucking storm coming up, like a typhoon. Yeah. And they could lock the normal houses, like not only closing the windows, they have like even something that's like metal is coming down, and then even 2 more doors. So it was like a bunker, I would say. Yeah. And in the news, the people they told us, okay, nobody leaves the house for the next 3 days, and the house was shaking and everything. Oh, wow. And I felt like, for me, it was also, again, a challenge, a test. I said, like, I need to go out there. I want to experience. I put on my running shoes and went out. I said, like, I'm going to go jogging. So everyone saw, like, it was crazy, And
now I'll push you up there.
Yeah. And then I went out in the storm. Maybe not a good idea, but I was jumping high. And then the storm, it took me, like, 1 meter, 2 meters, like, I just tried to connect with nature in some kind of way, and feeling this force and how small I am, and this could crush me, So, but I have really good memories. I think when I think more about it, I was really connected with nature. Maybe this is also the reason why I want to reconnect with nature. Yeah. And maybe this is also the reason why I think most people are missing exactly this. If you are only in the office every day, you lose your senses. There's something, for example, in the military, you get taught if you are in battle for a long time and you are, let's say, not in a city environment, like an urban environment, you are, because of the stress and because of the fear and your hormones, everything. So your senses, your instincts, they evolve.
They sharpen. Yeah.
They sharpen, exactly. For me, it doesn't make sense. So, but there's cases they say you can smell a deodorant, or a perfume on a distance of 500 meters.
But yeah, I can see that. Like if you in a battle deploy for long, you don't smell this stuff. Yeah. Your senses in the city, I can see that your senses or some of your senses get like overwhelmed all the time because
you have so many distractions. It's like a flood of information and distractions and noise. Yeah, this is why I think it's very important to reconnect with nature and doing something that you haven't done before with people like who are like-minded. So I had this experience in Mali. We were on a mission there, and our operation just started, and we had our set milestones, okay? And we were on foot, and the sun was like 55 degrees, and it was heavy, our stuff that we were carrying. You have like bulletproof vests, you have your ammunition, you have your grenades, and you have water, and I had the radio and a lot of other stuff. So I was carrying like around about 50 kilograms. It was very hot, very, very hot. And still, it's not only that you try to keep your head clear all the time because there's still a danger. Behind every wall, behind every hill, there can be a danger waiting for you. So you have to keep your mind and your instincts sharpened. And at one point, because we were not really following roads, we were in the middle of nowhere, and we saw like this is fucking planet Moon, okay? It looks like on the moon. And then I saw something unique. Instantly, I saw like, this doesn't belong here. Do you know when sometimes people hike and they start to build this small pyramids from
with the rocks? Yeah.
So I saw one. I saw like, this is not natural. I was looking around. I saw a second one. And then I was looking even more far. I saw 2 more. Then I stepped back a little bit. This helps a lot. I stepped back and I could see this might be a road. And now from my experience, so if you are off-road on a vehicle and you drive, you don't want to get stuck somewhere. So you follow the road that other vehicles already have taken. So just to make sure to have a better possibility to get along, like without being stuck. Yeah, exactly. So I told my superior that I see a danger here, and reported this. Well, we had like a lot of pressure. Sun was going down, and there was one guy. He was detection, metal detection, and he tried to find something, but we didn't find anything. So we keep moving forward, because our captain, he said like, okay, didn't find anything. We already wasted time here. We have to keep moving forward. And then later the day, we reached our point. We were a little bit higher, and then I heard this bang, this huge fucking bang. Okay, and then a couple kilometers far away, I saw like not a fireball, but like after the burst, they have like the steam coming up and everything. And so like instantly, I felt it again. Oh, this is where we have been, man. This is the place where I've seen, or where I have noticed the pyramids. And we had confirmation a couple of days later after our operation was finished. We passed this way again by vehicles, and then there was the wrecked car. It was like a light-blinded tank, something like this. It was blown up, and 3 people died in there. So, but I wanted to tell you, if you reconnect with nature, you sharpen your instincts, man, and you feel things you wouldn't feel if you're too stressed out. So this is why I'm convinced that taking a step back by being really remote, being in nature, reconnect with nature. And then you sharpen your instincts, and you get this clarity about whatever it is. If it's about yourself, your job, your business, your relationship, or whatever. But from time to time, we have to step back and regain clarity.
Regain clarity, see it from a distance. Like, don't get too much involved.
Definitely.
In Germany, we say you don't, you see the Wald vor lauter Bäumen nicht.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing. I don't even know if they have the saying in English.
Sometimes it's funny if you try to translate this kind of thing. So it would be like you don't see the forest. You
don't see the forest because of all the trees. Yeah,
because of all the trees.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a saying in English that has the same sense, but I cannot think of it. But let's get back to the core thing. When is your next adventure? Like, how can people join? Do you have a procedure that people have to go through?
Definitely.
To be eligible to get into it, or can everybody get into it with the right money? Where are you going? What is going on?
First answer: Can everybody get into it with enough money? No.
Okay.
No, definitely no. And the reason is simple. I would even do it alone, but I'm willing to take people on these adventures because I prefer to have good company, to form a fellowship among men, real men, like-minded men who push each other, who can laugh even if it's tough. Yeah. You cannot buy this with money. And I don't want to have a party crasher there who's wimping all the time, complaining all the time. Now, the quality of the people are going to determine the quality of the adventure, definitely. So, my next trip is end of this month, so at end of November, we're going to Kyrgyzstan. Why Kyrgyzstan? So, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, these countries are very interesting for me because of their vast nature and because of the people and the things that you can do there. And there's not almost no tourism, I would say. And let's say you can make things possible, which is great. It's really, really great. The Kyrgyzstan adventure is of being remote, connecting with nature by taking not only our four-wheel drives and getting really deep into the country. If we cannot go any further, we skip, we take horses. We put our stuff on the horses. No worries, everybody can ride horses. They are trained. It's easy. We have horsemen. They feed the horses, and everything is set. And you can even they are not so fast. Okay, of course you can. If somebody's experienced, you can ride faster. But also you can walk beside the horse, and it's still good pace. So nobody needs to worry about this. But what it's about, it's if you're so deep in nature, and for days you don't see anyone else. This is already a great feeling. And then when you are out there at night and you stare at the sky, you see millions of stars because you have no external light source in reach of like 50 kilometers or 50 miles, whatever. This is awesome, man. This is awesome. So, and I will go there definitely in those countries more often, but this specific adventure is about hunting. So we hired professional hunters, and we go to their traditional hunting area where no other people go there. We organize the border permits because sometimes we have to cross border, and it's so remote, so we cannot consider any food preferences or any personal wishes, so it's definitely about discomfort. And if we have the chance, like to spend a night in a hunting hut with sauna, which would be already great. But if it's only a traditional yurt, which is a tent, a Kyrgyz tent, or even in our own tents, then it's the way. Okay, hygiene is important, but it's secondary. Okay, so and. This is also why it's only for men, because men act among men different, and they. I don't want to offend someone, but they complain less, and they don't have the urge that everything needs to be that clean, because female hygiene is even more important. I totally understand. I get the point. But man, you don't change your clothes for 7 days. No worry. You survive, man. You survive. I remember back in Africa, and we were sweating permanently, because of the sun. Hey, we were taking water bottles, man. Just put a tea bag in it. Took it like a lease, like a small rope, small cord, and we tied it to our rucksack and put it on our back. After 5 minutes, you had tea, man. Okay, we were sweating permanently. You were smelling really, really bad. Okay, there were flies. I was watching my comrade, and because he was doing like this move, and then he heard like a swarm of flies. Yeah. And then they attach back to your body. So funny, man. Or even those things. You want to know how life is? Back in the days, there was no flush for the toilet. There was no water supply or whatever. And even those kind of countries in Africa or in Kyrgyzstan, when we are really remote, okay, your toilet is nature. Get along with this. I don't even consider going there.
Even in some areas in France, if you go to the countryside in France, they still have just holes in the floor.
True. And this is the reality. So, but even those things, if you feel at one point that you don't need all this comfort. Comfort is nice, and I really enjoy the contrast between Dubai and all these adventures, because here in Dubai you can have everything. So it's great. I really, really enjoy it. But from time to time, lower your standard and being humble and seeking for discomfort.
As I said, it also has a lot to do with self-development. Like, you really have to get out of your comfort zone, like you said. Seek discomfort. Like,
exactly.
Do what you usually don't do, and just get through it.
So what is the learning? Many people out there, they have been told, hey, you should leave your comfort zone. Okay, then you jump into a cold plunge, or whatever. Or you go to the training, you work out, you leave your comfort zone. You get up early once in the morning, but really leaving your comfort zone for hours, for days in a row, or even longer.
How long is the trip?
Like 7 days, usually 7 days. But I prefer to even longer. But I think 7 days, everybody can fit very good in their schedule, in their daily life. But to finish this, the learning is, after doing all this kind of stuff, something maybe that you haven't done before, you find out what you are capable of. What defines you as a man, that you can come along with anything out there without getting destroyed. And this makes something with you. And this is, you feel like a man again. You are proud. And when you come home and you tell your stories, your unique experiences, and your wife is saying, or whoever, oh, I'm so proud. She gives you like confirmation. Yeah? Shows you her appreciation. This is great, man. Being proud of yourself. This is what it's about.
What are you hunting for in Kyrgyzstan?
Depends a little bit of luck, but in general, wolves, big wolves, jackals, ibex, and there's some other stuff. And the hunters, they can even set up some small traps, like for rabbits or whatever. So it's so the Kyrgyz government has the opinion that there are too much wolves out there. They are a threat to domestic animals. So that's why they. So I've been told that they even pay for the wolves.
Okay.
This is not our intention, but for us, it's being out there doing really some man stuff.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's more about adventure. It's not a pure hunting.
No. So
just to make it clear, not that
yes,
somebody.
Correct. So I define adventure because when you are little, when you are young, say between 10 and 14 years old, think back what has influenced you, what fascinates you. And this is most of the time exactly this that will make you happy even 20 or 30 years later. And for me, it's adventure. And when I think of adventure, the first thing is what is coming to my mind is Indiana Jones or James Bond. So would you say that, for example, Indiana Jones only sleeps outside in tents, or James Bond is never using a car? See? But still, they both live a life full of adventure. So I want to organize for myself adventures in a kind of way where you don't necessarily to be uncomfortable all the time. No, we use whatever's moving. So if we take a boat, it's fine. If you take horses, it's fine. If you take four-wheel drives, it's fine. If you take helicopters, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's still part of the adventure to going to reach your destination where we want to go. So, and it's not about survival. Okay, here you have like some wood and you have some stone. Do some fire. That's not the point. It's about the fire being out there. So you can use some tools. No worries.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
So it's not a survival game.
Yeah, no. Hunt your food, or you don't eat anything. So So this is not the point. So we use whatever we have, but to make this a great adventure. But it's really the key is the people who are part of the adventure.
Will there also be a part where you're in the city or somewhere, or no? This adventure
No. We don't do any sightseeing. Okay. We skip all this. Okay. Yes. So to finalize the answer, people apply for a waiting list. I will have a personal interview with them to figure out what is their character, does their character fit into our adventures, into our program. Do they really know what are they going to face? So what I did is, for different adventure, I categorize them. I give them certain difficulty levels, like in easy, moderate, challenging, and extreme. Extreme would be, for example, we climb a fucking mountain over 7 or 10 days. Okay, this is like so I recently climbed in Kilimanjaro in August, almost 6,000 meters, and then in total I did like 85 kilometers, like going up and down, everything. So I checked everything, and it was only me and my guide. Didn't want any group, so because I wanted to go my own pace. So we were moving very fast. I was carrying my own stuff. Every day he took my bag and he's like, man, it's heavy. You're crazy, man. It's heavy. So I was just prepared. I took my stuff with me that I thought it's necessary. So, and this you push yourself, and even if it wasn't easy for me. So I mean, I have climbed a lot of mountains. I would consider myself as a mountaineer as well. But if you haven't done this in a while, and if you get to a higher altitude, okay, I had a bad headache one day. Okay, we would climb like from 3,500 to 4,500, and then the same day 1,000 altitude meters down again. So it's quite challenging, and then I would describe this as extreme, because you got to push yourself every day for maybe 10, 12 or more hours, and this is definitely not for everyone. And you have to have a really good physical shape or basics, let's say, because I know myself. I'm convinced so every man should know his capabilities, but you will find out more on my adventures, definitely. But over the years, I found out I can push myself even more. Even if I think like, oh, now your heart is going to stop, you are going to die. I pushed myself forward, and I learned how to deal with this. Okay? I lost a nail; it's fine. I was in the Legion. I was after an obstacle course. I jumped down, so I broke my heel. And later that day, a Algerian, he was like a veteran, very old guy, but he was one of the toughest motherfuckers in the Legion, definitely. He was known for his cruelty. And he said, like, okay, guys, pack your stuff. So we were going on a hike, and was not in the order, He just came up like with this. So we packed our stuff and went like over 28 kilometers over mountains. And I couldn't put my heel on the ground. So I tried to develop a technique, which was like small running or small jogging. So after the end of the day, my calves were exploding and I couldn't walk properly. But we were back in the base, and I had my duties to do, and everybody was making fun of me and said like, "Hey, Klein, walk like a man, So I learned how to deal with all these things. So, but I know that that not everybody's like this. And if you haven't experienced this kind of things before, maybe this is stuff. So if somebody's joining an extreme adventure, he should know, okay, this is really going to be tough, man, and you should be prepared, also mentally prepared. And the other things, it's like, even if it's challenging, if I say it's challenging, I would say everybody can do it, but you have to have a strong mindset. You just need to convince yourself to move forward, to stay positive. This is the most important stuff. And then, like the moderate things, it's we go somewhere where usually other people will not go. Maybe we go for a couple hours in the jungle to have a great experience. Maybe we meet like different tribes. For example, by the end of January 26th, we plan this trip to Equatorial Guinea, which was Africa's least visited country, with less than 6,000 tourists each year. Gonna have a great time there too. So so the procedure is they sign up for the waitlist, they have the interview, I tell them what it's about, they reconsider themselves, are they really want to do it. Then of course they need to have the time, they need to have the money, and they have to have the mindset. And if I approve them, then they can get on an adventure. No worries. So, but usually the trips are limited to 5 to maximum 8, including me. This depends on 2 things. First is logistics. I don't want to have like a column of cars, for example, and I want to move fast. And the second thing is I don't want the group, the fellowship, splitting into twice. This wouldn't be good, because I want to bond. I want to have this close connection between the men. So, and this is why I want to keep the group small. And when you have already done with me 1 or 2 adventures, and I know what you are capable of and what kind of guy you are, and you have proved yourself, like really physical and mentally, then I plan to do some really elite stuff, and we do some really crazy shit, but this is not for everyone, definitely. And to make this clear, everybody is going on their own risk. Yes, we are prepared. We have security backup, like satellite telephones, for example. And but if something happens, I have medikit. Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional. We don't. So in January we don't have these guys with us. So at some point, maybe in some adventures, we will organize. But it must be clear. It must be clear that maybe if you are out there in the middle of nowhere and something happens to you. We do anything what we could do, but we cannot rely on like secondary support. Like so, maybe we can evacuate, we fly you out or whatever. So this might be possible, but you do this on your own risk. So, and the unknown. This is what adventure is about. I'm not talking about a schedule, like today we do this, and at 12 we have lunch there, and 1 hour later we meet those locals and they will make a great show for us or whatever. No. So the plan can change at any time depending on different circumstances or the weather or whatever. So this is adventure, not knowing what's next. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds like a really nice trip. So at the first couple trips now, you kind of gather all the people together, and if they're worthy, you do the master trip.
Yes, definitely.
Nice. That's really nice.
So in my mind, I have this idea like a very cool troop or a very cool team of men, and you can rely on each other. They know everybody, everyone knows what he's capable of. And then even in harsh times, when it's getting really difficult, we help each other, we support each other, we push each other. Even when we make fun, like, hey Patrick, walk like a man. Don't show weakness. Weakness is like pain is weakness that's leaving the body. Whatever. We're joking around. We're fooling around because now everybody knows that it's stuff. And then this makes it a great experience because you can have fun even if all around you is tough or chaos or whatever. This is great, and this is a bond which most of people are missing out there, but because there are not many who you really can rely on, especially in this modern business world. It's so difficult to trust people nowadays. But think about it like like a mastermind. Think about like a mastermind, but not in a seminar environment. It's out there in nature, and you really have time to get close to each other. And if there's really inspiring or interesting persons,
and survive and push yourself and everything.
Exactly.
Nice. Sounds like a really fun trip. We'll definitely link everything that has to do with it.
Cool.
So if we have some people who are interested in it, get with Robin. Anything else you want to say? Because I think we come
follow
close
me on
to
Instagram.
Sure.
Robin Unchained. My website is legionnairemind.com, and it's gonna be a great time. We're just about starting the shit, and it's gonna be great experience for each and every one of you guys out there who want to join. I will promise you, this some stuff you cannot buy out there. It's so personal to me that I do it in my own favor, that it's gonna be great. So I want to have this great adventure, and I give you guys the opportunity to join me.
I think that was the end of today's podcast. Robin, I'm so thankful that you were here. Like, really appreciate it that you made some time. And for everyone who wants to join the trip, we'll link everything that has to do with Robin and his adventures in the description wherever you consume this podcast, whether it's Spotify, Amazon Music, or YouTube. You'll find everything in the description. If you watch it on YouTube, you probably saw it already in the screen. Yeah.
Final quote from David Goggins. He's really inspiring me. Feel like a deep connection with him. So he has definitely experienced a lot, like myself too. And so the quote is, "Stay hard."
With that being said, thank you so much, Robin. That was Phat Chat. Patrick is my name. And show some love. Share, comment, and follow us. Like every time I log into Spotify, it tells me I should tell you to follow. We have some listeners, but you don't follow. Khalas, yalla, do it. Okay, bye. Thank you so much.